You know, in the streaming world, we always say content is king. But what about protecting the king? That's a whole different ballgame, a really high-stakes battle. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the tech that keeps our digital stream safe. We're talking everything from the digital locks of DRM to the invisible fingerprints of forensic watermarking. All right, let's just start with a number that kind of puts everything in perspective. Ready? $50 billion. That's not the industry's revenue. That's the estimated loss the global entertainment industry deals with every single year thanks to video piracy. I mean, that is a staggering number. It's not just a little problem, it's a massive threat to the whole creative ecosystem.
And yeah, that $50 billion problem, it leads us right to the core question we're tackling today. In a world of, infinite streams, where you can send a brand new movie to billions of devices with a click, how in the world do you protect the source?
Look, this isn't just a problem for a handful of giant studios. Piracy is a threat that hits the entire ecosystem from top to bottom, and that's exactly why the solutions we're about to get into are so important. So why does this matter so much? Well, content protection, it's really the bedrock of the whole streaming business. Think about it. It protects the money that's needed to, fund the next big hit series. It's what keeps the trust alive with the studios that are licensing out their movies. And maybe most importantly, it makes sure all the creators, the writers, the directors, the crew, that they actually get paid for their work. If that protection breaks down, honestly, everybody loses.
So, where do we even begin to build up that protection? Well, the first line of defense, the real fundamental gatekeeper for pretty much all premium content out there, is something called digital rights management. You've probably heard of it, DRM. And DRM, at its heart, is exactly what it sounds like. It's a digital gatekeeper. Its one and only job is to make sure that only the right people on the right devices can play back encrypted content. And not just that, but they can only play it back according to the rules the owners set. It is, quite literally, the lock on the digital door. Now, this diagram here gives you a great visual of the whole DRM dance, if you will. You've got the original content on one side, and it gets locked up tight. That's the encryption part. Then you've got this whole ecosystem of licensed servers and keys. They're the ones managing who gets to unlock it and when. It all works together to make sure that secure playback only happens on devices that are supposed to have it. It's like this constant secure chatter happening in the background every single time you hit play. Okay, so let's walk through that process step by step. First, the video gets encrypted, right? Locked up. Then, when you hit play, your device shoots off a license request. The DRM server on the other end takes a look and asks, is this person a subscriber? Is this a trusted device? If everything checks out, boom, it securely sends over the decryption key. And then the final step. Your player decrypts the content, but it's also actively enforcing all the rules that came with that key. And for all you broadcast engineers out there, this is where it gets really interesting for you. That final step, enforced playback, that's where the rubber meets the road. It's where the abstract software world of DRM connects directly with the physical hardware you deal with every day. This is where DRM policies are telling protocols like HDCP, high bandwidth digital content protection, what to do. It's what's securing the signal path right across that HDMI cable. So yeah, DRM isn't just a piece of code, it's a set of rules that directly controls the hardware. But here's the thing. As powerful and as essential as DRM is, it has a huge, just massive blind spot. It's a fantastic lock, don't get me wrong, but it is not a complete security system by itself. So what's the problem? Well, DRM's job is basically done the moment the content is decrypted for you to see it. And that opens up what's called the analog hole. I mean, what's stopping someone from just recording their screen? Nothing. It also can't stop an authorized user, say an employee at a studio, from leaking the content. But here's the real kicker. If a perfect copy of a movie suddenly appears online, DRM has zero, absolutely zero way of telling you who leaked. And this quote really just hits the nail on the head. The single biggest limitation of DRM is that it can't identify the source of a leak. It can tell you that a vault was robbed, but it has no idea who the robber was. And in the fight against piracy, that is a massive, massive problem. So, if DRM is the lock on the vault, what's the surveillance system? Where are the cameras? Well, that's where our next technology comes into play. Forensic watermarking. It's basically a digital fingerprint, and it was designed to solve the exact problem that DRM just can't. So what exactly is it? Okay, forensic watermarking is the process of embedding a unique and totally imperceptible identifier right into the video content itself.
Now, we're not talking about one of those annoying logos you see in the corner of the screen. No, this is a hidden code woven into the video that can trace a pirated copy back to the specific user, the specific device, or even the exact session it was streamed in. It's incredibly clever.
And this table just lays it out perfectly, right? DRM is all about preventing access. It's the lock. Watermarking is all about identifying the source of a leak. It's the surveillance system. The key thing to understand is that they don't compete with each other. They're two totally different tools that work together as essential layers of security.
All right, so we have our lock, DRM, and we have our surveillance system, watermarking. Now let's put it all together and see how they create a real defense-in-depth strategy out in the wild.
So here's how the whole workflow actually plays out. You've got these automated systems that are just constantly scanning the internet, looking for pirated copies of content. As soon as one is found, it gets captured and analyzed. And this is the magic part. The forensic watermark is pulled out of that pirated file. That watermark reveals the unique ID of the account or the session where the leak came from. And once you have that, well, now you have concrete evidence to take real action, whether it's shutting down an account or even starting legal action. And this image here really gives you a sense of what a modern security operation looks like. It's not just one tool, not by a long shot. It's this complex combination of automated web crawlers, super sophisticated forensic analysis platforms, and all the data systems tying them together. They're all working in concert. It's a truly high-tech, integrated system built to protect content on a massive global scale.
So let's wrap this up. What are the big things to remember? Number one, DRM is your first line of defense. It's the lock on the door. But it's blind to where leaks come from. That's where watermarking comes in. It's the digital fingerprint that gives you traceability. When you put them together, you get this powerful, layered defense in depth. And this whole system, this is what protects the money, the partnerships, and the creative work that our entire streaming world depends on. And that really brings us to what's next, right? Because this game is always changing. Pirates are already looking at using AI to try and break these protections. So the huge question on everyone's mind is, how will the next generation of content protection evolve to stay one step ahead? It's this constant, high-stakes game of cat and mouse. Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me.